Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. The last month of July. Hope it was a good one and you ended strong. Smooth sailing. It's Thursday. Thanks for being here. I'm going to review the 0-day options today. I took on SPY with this small account. Yesterday was FOMC, so that loosened up a lot of money and got some volatility back in the market. So IV is higher today on SPY. VIX, I haven't looked at it, but I'm assuming it's up with this IV. Today's range was much larger than we've been having. Let's see, 639.85 to 630.77. So about 9 points. We haven't had a 9-point day in a while. And it was a doozy. Kind of tricky. I have to be very focused on when IV is high because I don't usually trade as well with increased premiums and higher IV. So yeah, we'll review today though. So on the 30-minute here's SPY day trading on YouTube. Here's his chart, is Eric. So gapped up this morning pre-market, and it actually kind of happened yesterday. Made this big inverse head, grabbed this shoulder and gapped up, and then kind of melted down. I might retest green. Came all the way to 5-day and then retest the bottom of this green channel. So at this point it was kind of a wedge. We're just retesting this shoulder and we're gonna rally, or if we're gonna actually grab it and make a little head and shoulder and then a mini head and shoulder right here. Ended up being the mini head and shoulder and we sold off pretty big and actually completed this inverse cup. So now we're between 5-day and 20-day, and that's the range we're in for now. But with big IV, they'll probably like to decay all the contracts tomorrow. Probably big wedgie moves to be in store. Let's see, this morning, excuse me, I'm still sick. I'm getting better. I didn't take any trades in here. I thought about going long on, oh, this gold was actually right here. Thought about going long here for an inverse head and shoulder. I didn't do it, but that would have been a nice little first trade. Early trading in the first like hour and a half is just totally different mindset, pretty much. And I have done well at that before, but I just have to get the right mindset. Maybe I'm not prepared for that this morning. I'm not sure. This wasn't as clear of a head as I would have liked it, and I wasn't as confident in that gold yet. So I didn't take that one. Where was my first trade actually? Because I took a few trades today. I'm not very pleased with my trading today. It is actually green day, but it could have been more green for sure, but that's not why I'm not pleased. The green trade I took was using Emperor's chart, which it felt more like I was trying to make money and not trying to improve my skill, which I am trying to just improve my skill. The money is kind of an afterthought at this point. That'll come next. So that's where it's kind of like, it was a win, but I'm not super, didn't build my confidence. Yesterday was good because the trade I took built my confidence, and it's a trade I'm usually uncomfortable with, but I went for it. There are the trades. So a lot of red. My accuracy the last like 7-8 days has been pretty low. Thankfully my risk reward's been high, and so I've been able to squeak by green days even with probably only like 30% accuracy. Today's no different. Let's see. I think I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I had 4 trades and only one was green, I believe. Yeah. And I'm still green. And then the last trade was annoying because I gave back quite a bit of the profit. But anyways, 10:14, I was into calls. Where are we at here? Okay. Yep, so it rallied up, completed the cup, and I'm looking for basically a handle. Nice big red candle for potential for head to grab that shoulder. I had just about all these lines at that point, I think. Yeah, so right here, broke it. I got calls, or one call right here, and ended up not working out. And so I closed it at 10:21, probably on that candle, yeah. Closed as quick as I could. First trade of the day, red. Ivy was still kind of high, but it wasn't crazy red. It was 36 cents to 27 cents. kind of a bigger one, not yeah, I could have closed it sooner, I guess. I was trying to figure out where my stop would be, and by the time I figured it out, it was like too late. So I was thinking a break of this, and then I was like, well, maybe break a white, but then it was like, all right, I'm out. And next trade, so then I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. And this grinding down definitely looks like bulls building liquidity to then rally until right about here. Then the bears take over. So this is all zone of mutual interest or retracement or, yeah, those type of trades to here, this area, and then bulls say, we'll take the lead. Or sorry, bears. The bears. Oh, that was another thing. Yeah, okay, this is not a good start to the day. So 10-14, I got the call. And then I was actually planning on averaging into it. I'm like, once this thing breaks green, I'm going to grab another one because, you know, I want to start scaling up on good trades. And I had that order open, and I went to close that other order and I accidentally opened another one on 10-21. That was the problem. That was annoying. It was only like $1 more, but so I opened two then at that point, and then on that same minute I closed them both. So killed some of my buying power, which is maybe okay because today I felt like my emotions were a little bit out of check. I traded some on the big account and it felt a little yeah, I just got lost a little patience. You'll see what I'm talking about. 11:02, I got a call. Okay, so I missed this move down. I did. It broke my white channel. I wasn't like super comfortable with that one at this point. Like, just it takes confidence, and that's basically my number one priority, is just build confidence at this point. It broke it. I didn't take it there. Did retrace. If you look on Emperor's chart, I think he took it way earlier up there, which, yes, this is where I was actually gonna take calls. Break and retest magenta orange, break teal precision. Yeah, see, I don't like this trade though. I mean, I like it because it worked for him, and maybe someday I'll be good enough, but break and magenta, yeah. Anyways, so this was, his magenta was actually higher. Mine was a little lower. It was in between his blue and his magenta there. But yeah, so that kind of threw me off a little bit too, because I was kind of waiting for that, and then it was like it broke his blue, and then it was low a day, and I was like, all right, I'll get on a retest, and it never retested, and so yeah, I just left that one alone. And then came down here and started rallying, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get a retracement trade, zone of mutual interest, you know, mutual interest trade to the upside. Since it's never built the inverse handle, it very well could at least retest the low a day, or potentially come up here to green, or potentially as an inverse head, we're gonna grab a shoulder and rip. So that was my thinking. I guess I was impatient with it. I'm not sure. It just didn't work. Yeah, there wasn't enough liquidity here maybe for it to grab. Whereas down here, it had some liquidity here that grabbed, and then forced it this way up here that it grabbed. But I got it in there, 11:02 to 11:10. Yeah, I'm holding these things pretty long. So I got it on this red candle. So purple was I think this was my stop, but 11:10 is way longer. Yeah, I waited all the way until candle closed below that white. So it came up here, it broke the purple. I'm like, well, maybe it'll rebounce on this white. And so I said this will be my stop. I didn't expect it to actually just grind up in purple, so that wasn't necessarily gonna be my stop. But yeah, I guess I should have stopped here in hindsight. However, maybe it's in the back of my head, like I only have so many trades, and so I'm not wanting to stop and re-enter, or potentially re-entering or getting into it on the bounce. But yeah, I stopped here after the candle closed under that white. And then, yeah, of course, that would have been a good time to get puts, and I considered it. I'm like, it's so low. This is such a small retrace, which some days you get, you get a little retracement and a little liquidity built, and it takes 5 minutes. Other days it will literally take 3 hours, and this thing will just grind and come up and finally do that. I was trying to get clues on the 30-minute also, and there weren't really any. It looks like it could definitely still be bullish. This looks like it was testing the top of one of the green channel there. So yeah, anyways, close that one there. That was 32 cents to 25, so I'm down, you know, pretty good amount for a small account. And next one was a put at 119. So this is the trade. So I missed this. Of course, after this, I'm like, I'm kind of not paying attention anymore. Somewhat. I'm just kind of waiting for structure to build because I don't want to try and catch a retrace trade. But this one ended up actually being very nice. And I did put the purple even in early on. I'm like, I could just enter one and that could be my stop. And I didn't, which is fine. But yeah. So yeah, sorry about that. Didn't get that one. I suppose a break of gold would have done it. Yeah. So came all the way back up, retraced back to VWAP, built some liquidity here and here. And at this point, it's on the 30 minutes, just kind of in a big wedge. So I'm kind of hanging out, waiting for, I guess, a break here or a break up here and kind of a retrace. But at this point also, Emperor's lines are quite a bit different than mine, which isn't a huge deal, but it starts coming down, starts fading down. I'm like, all right, inverse cup, maybe a handle if we get that. And then on his chart, his red, his magenta was actually higher up than mine, so I waited for that, for his to break instead of mine. So mine was down here, his was like right up here. So I got it on the break of that, and this is kind of a trade I'm not very comfortable with, just kind of in the middle of no man's land, I guess. Just when it starts like fading. But of course it was a nice trade and it helped out the day. So sometimes it messes me up looking at their charts. I feel like more often than not, but sometimes it's like it definitely gives me some support on good entries. So that was at 119. So on the green candle right after that red one, so that red one broke his magenta. I got on this green one. I actually almost got another one, but I'm like, you know what? I really don't like this setup that much. It's not something I'm very comfortable with, so I just left it, and it's too bad, but I'm fine I did. I mean, that was the reason. And but this was my good trade that actually made me green. Held this one, just went so slow for so long. I felt like it took forever. But I closed it eventually. I was waiting. I was like, maybe low a day would be awesome. And I got it right here. So basically right at low a day. I had an alarm, an audible alarm. That's the best way to wake you up and just snap you out of it. So hit my alarm, I closed it, and it was about 100%. So $45 to 86. Maybe if I was a strike further out, it'd be more. I'm not sure, but for this size of move, I think it's just because the IV is higher now. This is like, it's all relative, you know what I mean? Like, so that's maybe why it wasn't a crazy move. But then Eric shared it, one of his trades from right here to here was 300%. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, but that seems odd. His fills are just way better. A little later in the day, but probably his strike too. I don't know. I gotta look at that options chain. That's kind of weird. So yeah, and then one more trade. This was a total impatient trade, and it's embarrassing, but 246 right here. So built nice liquidity here. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't feel like waiting, I guess, for it to break here, to go up. I didn't feel like trying to catch it if it comes down here. It was in such a, it was in kind of the middle of a wedge, such a large wedge. So I'm like, well, retrace here, that's a big move. Even coming back up here, that's a nice move. And so I basically did my early morning tactic where liquidity's built and it breaks it, and you're kind of taking a trade on the break of liquidity. Because then that's your clear stop. So this is the shoulder, potentially, and there's a head, and then it'll come down. But if it's not the shoulder, then, you know, this is a clear stop. So I took it on this candle. I think it was that candle. I guess it was on the beginning of that candle. Yeah. So I got a call there. It kind of melted, faded, and my clear stop was right about here. Let's see, 51. So yeah, on this wick, I closed out. Problem in the middle of the day is just the decay, especially with IV high. I mean, I don't know if the IV's getting crushed at all. Maybe not, but yeah, that was 53 cents to 46 cents. So if you look at some of my red trades from the other days or even last week, it's like sometimes it's only 2 or 3 pennies, and the IV increases. I feel like there's just a lot more loss from my entry to my exit. So I don't know what it is. Maybe, well, I am doing higher deltas, so that's actually helped some. I think. But anyways, took a couple dumb trades on the big account in here. Kind of frustrated. I need to be careful. Tomorrow's Friday, and Fridays definitely will want to eat you alive and give you all sorts of false hope on moves and false signals. So I'm gonna try and be very picky tomorrow, very strict and picky. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Peace out.